Hello, I am Lucas, and this is the tutorial for the action system prototype for Historia Realis. Um, okay, let's go. Your goal in this prototype is to get as much progress as possible, and that is this stat over here. Um, And I'm going to tell you how you do that in a bit, but there's also a couple of secondary goals. You're going to want to minimize your setback, which is this one, and you're going to want to minimize your tranquility loss as well. And you do all of that by taking actions. So let's take a look at the action selection. When you open the prototype, the first thing you do is you choose an action to take. And they have different parameters, as you can see here. They have difficulties. Here, mine, all my options are all very easy. And what this means is they'll give different progress. So that is a line there in the tooltip. I said the goal is to get progress, and this is how you get progress. Very easy actions give you plus 10 progress. Harder ones will give you more progress. But you have to win them. It says right there, if successful, this action will give you this. There are other rewards than progress. There's Omen, and there's the extra Talus, or plural Tali, which are these little tokens here that we're going to talk about more as I take an action. So let's do this middle one, which gives me it's very easy. It gives me +2 momentum, and let's see how that goes. So this is the action resolution screen, and it tells me the roles for me and for my challenge role. And I am succeeding, so this is going well. And that comes from the dice that I rolled, which are this Tali. They are four-sided dice that the Romans used, other than the normal six-sided one. They also had this four-sided one, which was usually made of bone. I think they used like some animal's bone, and that's what's represented there. That's the shape of them, and they sum up to the total value, right? So here you do like 3 plus 6 plus 3 plus 1. Those are the sides. The other side is 4, as we can see here. The sides are 1, 3, 4, and 6. So if you sum this up, 3 plus 6, 9, 10, 13. Okay, but we have 16, so there are bonuses also to your roll, and this shows right here. The auspices give that +3 to sum up to 16. We'll look into all of that. Might sound a bit complicated right now, but it's really not that complicated. The fact is that our 16 is higher than the challenge's 11, which also comes from the roll of those dice and those bonuses. And so we are winning. And since we are winning, that means we get those rewards. We get the progress, we get the +2 momentum, and we get the extra talus with a value of 4, which was promised as a reward for winning this action. So we looked into the roles for the action, we looked into the tally, the total value. Let's look at the name of the roles, which is really cool thing that you might have noticed. This is Statia and this is Flora. There are 35 named roles, as this tooltip will explain, and they come from the tokens, the little dice that you rolled. So for example, as it says there, if you roll a 1, a 4, 6, and a 6, that is Romulus, the order doesn't matter. So if you roll a 1, a 6, a 4, and a 6, that is also Romulus. The order of the numbers changed, but you still roll the same for Tali. And a 4, a 4, a 6, a 6 is Neptunus. That is going to give you a higher bonus. And one of each, so a 1, a 3, a 4, and a 6 is a Venus. And that was historically the best roll that the Romans came up with. So they named some of this. So we know that the Venus name for a roll is historical. The other ones I basically made up for fun. It's possible that they had other names for rolls. We know some of them. Like 4 of the same was called Vultur or Vulture. And all ones was called a Canis or dog. I basically used the names of heroes of Rome and the names of gods of Rome to come up with the scores to make it interesting. So we're going to see a lot of different named roles here. And there's also the types, like I said. So the heroes are, you can mouse over anything to get more information as you play, but the heroes are basically when you have 2 equal Tali, but only 2 are equal. So here we have 3 and a 3. So that's going to be a hero roll. And when you have more unique rolls, like 3 equal ones, or 2 pairs, that is going to be a divinity, and it's going to be named after a divinity, and it's going to give you a higher bonus. So here it is a +5. So those are the types. And I mentioned the extra bonuses here for the auspices. We're going to look into the auspices more soon. But yeah, there are bonuses for the types, for the extra thing like the auspices, or for the difficulty, in the case of the challenge. So since our difficulty was very easy, the add for difficulty was just 0. But as you take harder actions, you're going to see higher bonuses here for the challenge. So be careful with hard actions. Well, I'm winning this action, so I'm just going to continue from here and we'll pick another one, right? So here we have more choices. Let's do this medium one. We are also succeeding in this one. Our role was Saturnus. The challenge role was Lucretia. Let's look at some interactions. What can we do here other than just win every time? Well, when we are winning, we can boast. We can laugh at the gods that we won. And what this does is it gives you more momentum, which is a good stat to have. And the tooltip here says there's a 75% chance of success if I boast. If I lose the 75% chance roll, then I lose this action. Let's see what happens. Nope. So when you roll, the challenge will always increase. And there was a 75% chance of it not increasing enough, which is what happened. It increased, but I still have a higher number. There was a 25% chance that it would increase past my number and then I would lose this action instead, but that did not happen. So what happens is I gain +5 momentum. Now my momentum is 7 because I had +2 from the reward of the previous action, and now +5 from boasting. So my boasting was successful. And I can continue. So boasting is a risky way to get more momentum. which is good, and I will explain why it's good soon. But let's look at the overcome, which is the other action that you can take, or other interaction that you can do inside an action. To show you the overcome, I need to be losing, so I'm going to skip a few actions. Here I am failing, so that's what I wanted to show you. What can I do when I'm failing? Well, the most basic thing I can do is overcome. And to overcome, I'm going to go here to my total roll, and I'm going to click that. But there's a cost to that. It is an insta win, right? So as it explains here in the tooltip, you will succeed if you just press here to overcome, but that will come at a cost. And the cost is, it costs momentum, and it adds to your setback, which I said that you did not want to have much setback. So it makes you win, but it comes at a cost. And I'm going to do that just to show you. And one detail here is that I don't have enough momentum. I have 8 and it costs 9. So if I had enough momentum, then it would reduce from my momentum. But since I don't, as the tooltip says right there in the last line, this will cost tranquility since I do not have enough momentum. I'm going to do that. My tranquility goes to -9. My momentum stays as it was. And now I'm succeeding in the action. I just insta-won, but I also got some setback, and now I lost tranquility. So it is a choice that you have to make. If you really want to win this action so bad, you can do that. But there's a complex decision making there on whether you want to do that or not. And as you play, you're going to learn more about that. There's also extra tally, which is another way to turn the tide and win actions without so much cost. The way to gain extra tally is through winning actions and getting them as reward. So here, this action was always going to give me this extra tally, this 3 for winning this. So when I continue this, it's going to show up there. I already had this 4 from a previous action where I won that one. So now I have 2 extra tally, and I can use those inside actions. Let's see that work. Let's go for this extreme action. We are failing this one. We can use an extra tally to improve our score. It won't help too much, I don't think, for this case, because the challenge roll is really high, but we can try. Let's try. So the way to do that is you click one of your extra tally. So here I'm going to click my 4, and now I get to replace any of my current ones. So I can replace a 3 with a 4, and that will improve my score a little bit. So it's going to go from 20 to 21. That's not a great improvement. So here, that was probably not a good move, right? But sometimes you get situations where you get some really good improvements that you can make, but it really depends. It's not so clear sometimes. If I replace this one with this one, that takes me to a 21. And that might sound a little bit weird because I replaced the 6 with a 3, so that should lower my score. But I went from a hero roll to a divinity roll because of the 2 pairs. So I ended up increasing my score a little bit. Ideally, the game is going to show you exactly what score you're going to change into as you do this, but right now it doesn't. So you really need some deep knowledge of the game in order to do this correctly. And that won't be the case in the final version. If this makes into the final version, the game will just tell you, but right now it was a bit too complicated to do that, not worth doing yet. So yeah, that's how that works. You can use the extra tally, but it's they're a bit hard to use. The easiest way is just to use your momentum there with the overcome. Um, there's another way to use extra tally, which we will look into in a bit, but this is one of them. Um, let's look into the resources now, like momentum, which you gain by boasting. So I can try boasting here. Oh, that boast failed. That was not a good idea. I will not be getting my momentum from boasting. I will not be getting this +1 momentum because I'm failing the action. And I have to just continue here. I have 8 momentum. And the tooltip here is pretty complete. You can read this afterwards. But momentum is useful both for spending it to overcome, as we already saw. And it also increases your roll chances in general, as you can see here at the bottom. So this is what momentum does passively. It makes your dice loaded, basically. So usually with 4 sides of a die, you'd get 25% chance on each side. But if you have higher momentum, it will skew your rolls towards higher values. I need to change this from 0, 1, and 0, 1, 2, and 3 into the actual tokens. These are just indexes from the programming side. These are actually 0 is just the first row, which is 1, and then 1 is the second row, which is 3, up to the last row, which is 6. Sorry for the confusion from this, but hopefully you can understand that my chance to roll a 6 is 32%, and my chance to roll a 1 is 18% right now, because I have 8 momentum. If I had even higher momentum, then my chance to roll the better results would be even better. And if I had less momentum, it would just be very close to or exactly 25%. So having high momentum is good, basically, because it will give you better dice rolls. They also influence the difficulty a little bit. So if you have higher momentum, you generally have harder actions as choices here. But also with time, you just have harder actions. So towards your last action, you have harder actions, and the actions go up to action 15, which is the last one. Your tranquility, as the tooltip here will explain, it's a backup resource. If you don't have enough momentum, you use that. If you don't have enough animals to boast, because boasting, which is clicking here, costs animals, which is this other resource. If you don't have that, you also spend tranquility. It doesn't impact you negatively in this prototype. It's kind of like more for the rest of the game as it connects with the other systems. You want to preserve your tranquility. Right now, there's really no cost to getting like -100 tranquility. You can do that and it won't affect you negatively here, but in the final game it will. So something to keep in mind. So I already just mentioned the animals that it is used to boast. And Omen is the final mechanic that we need to talk about. And it's an important way to win. You get Omen by winning actions and getting it as a reward. As you can see here, for all of these, my reward is some Omen. And you can see your Omen here or here. And you can also gain Omen by just clicking it over here. You click on the Omen and you're going to get more Omen, but this is going to cost you 1 extra Tali every time you click it. So you need to have 1 extra Tali, and you need to click here. I can do that now, and it will take me from 3 to 6. Right now, I think it's random from 1 to 3. It will just give you 1 to 3 Omen randomly. And okay, now with higher Omen, this will make my maximum bonus here higher. And this works with a slightly complicated algorithm. Not going to exactly how that works. I don't think it's worth it. The point is simply that having higher Omen gives you a better chance for you to have higher bonuses here. So if I had, I have 8 Omen, so that means that my bonus can be up to twice that, I believe. So my bonus can be up to 16. And what determines whether it is 16 or less than 16 are the auspices, which are right under here. So the auspices are very good. So that means it's more likely to be towards 16. So let's take an action and see where it goes. It was actually +5, which is not amazing. Could have been higher. But that's the luck of the gods, right? You can influence the auspices when they're very bad, and this is the final thing that you can do. You need also an extra Tali to do that, and then you just click here and they just go from very bad to very good. So it's a very powerful thing you can do, but it's very swingy. Sometimes having high auspices does not mean you'll get the bonus. And so you're trading something very certain, which is having an extra Tali, for something that is very swingy, but sometimes it can be good to do that. And again, here's having good auspices means I'm more likely to get a better bonus from my Omen. Here, this time it was a +7, and I'm winning this action. So that was the last mechanic. So let's just finish this up. I'll take some random actions here and continue as we approach the 15 actions that we need to take. Ooh, so the challenge here got a Venus roll, one of each, which is one of the best rolls. Very, very unlucky there. If I had extra Tali, I could do something about that. I guess I could always, you can always overcome, but that can come at a pretty high cost. Here the cost is pretty low, right? Because my roll was 20, the challenge is 21, so this will cost you just 2 momentum to do. If the difference is higher, then the cost is higher as well, but it always adds to your setback, so you have to consider that. And this is going to be my last action, and it takes me to an end screen. Shows me my final progress. If you made at least 150 progress, that's pretty good. I'm a bit short of pretty good. I didn't quite make pretty good because I was just pressing stuff randomly a lot of the time. Hopefully you can do a better job in your attempt. And I hope that this tutorial helped you. Please press the feedback form button to give me some feedback on this prototype. And there's also a restart button if you want to try again, try to get a better score or get less setback, or play around with this and see how the system works and what it does. And bam, bam, and bam, we're done. Thank you, and bye-bye.